Alright, recording session from 5/16/2017. Um, so SPY, S&P 500 ETF, and long-term uptrend, big picture uptrend. Recent trend action as we gapped up to a new all-time high today. Did not close there, but didn't exactly price reject away. So big picture uptrend still intact. Top two pre-market movers were WB, I had on my watch list before, but this was such a large gap, so this is one of those when it naked gaps up, I'm very hesitant unless, this is such a huge gap. So, did this end up having like one good trade? Kunal was calling this a flag on the 5 minute. Did it have a wide range day? Yeah, but, this is outside of my rule set, so this is not the things I should be trading. So it was a hard pass, and DKS, Dick's Sporting Goods, once again, huge gap down, hard pass. So hadn't been a lot of stuff in pre-market for me to trade lately. It's been lots of hella gaps and such. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into my trade that I made yesterday, which was Momo. So the big picture trend in Momo is up. It's in the tech sector. Momo makes fiber optic cables. The recent trend action was kind of going sideways underneath 52-week highs. Past couple days broke out to the 52-week high, closed above there. Tried to test that 41 level I talked about, that fade yesterday, that counter trend trade. So the thought was we got above, 41.21 is a new all-time high. That potentially, there's no resistance above here, so could have a potential trade. So, a few thoughts. Just like I said, my basic entries for my trend trades up at least are opening drive on volume, or intraday uptrend with a Covh, or we gap up, and then if you do naked gap up, which I don't really prefer, that it V's down first, right? So I think we're going to see all those examples today. So in Momo, we gapped up, but not naked gap up. So I think that's the difference, is we still were within the prior day's range. So, that's kind of forgivable for me. It's kind of went sideways, so you could have had an opening range buy in here, maybe. But the volume on this up thrust was so good. That's what I noticed. It's like, look how the volume's going up. And then we had this nice long consolidation. So just kind of looking at that, zoomed in a little bit. So yeah, I was a little early buying in here. I only bought 150 shares, so I had to limit my risk a little bit. But then, as we started tightening up here, this was like really obvious. This was like strength and consolidation. So I added on another 50 shares, 150 shares to get my full size. This is about all I could buy. It would be about 300 shares in the $15,000 account. But my risk was just below here. It was about $100. So that was my entry. Just hanging tight, because this is definitely like a shakeout move. But my thought was that Momo's ATR had been about $3 on this day, $3 on this day recently. So I was of the mindset that this was, and once again, so like this was like a $1.50 move, so measured move was like another $1.50. Maybe I took a little profits a little early, but it was kind of like, I was thinking, okay, we're getting about like 43.50, so I set a limit at 43.45, because I'm not going to cry over 5 cents. Guess a lot of people had the same ideas, but on the same token, it's like I had my idea for wide range day, and at that point I was about 4R. So do I want to give that back? So this is like one of those things, I guess, when Bella was talking about one good trade, or if you have your exit, you have like some reasons to sell, or you trade your plan and price still keeps going up, that you have to accept that. But we also talk about holding these wide range days to the end of day, and so obviously if I hold to the end of day, I'm getting like another 70 cents at least. So this is one of those areas where it's like, okay, I had a measured move objective, I had price history of ATR. Am I wrong for exiting here? I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about that. So this was a premature exit. In that S&B video, Merritt and Bella were talking about, it's like having the integrity to hold your winners. And I guess yes, like in the long run, holding these wide range days to the end are going to pay for themselves more so than giving back some profits. But at least where I'm at mentally right now, I think it was really important for me to lock in a nice winning trade. But, perhaps holding these wide range days at the end of the day needs to be my exit strategy no matter what. At least till, call it 3 o'clock. So I think at this point I have to liquidate my positions in order to get my bonus from Bulls of Wall Street, because they're like, if you over $100, they'll cover your fees for the day, or and give you bonuses on your P&L and shit like that. So anyway, just kind of rambling now, but Momo definitely one good trade. Bella has in that video too. He talked about giving yourself a grade for the day. So I definitely think between yesterday and today, they were both A's. I traded one good trade twice, both in good stocks, both had good entries and good exits. Nvidia, I got lucky with it, gapped up off the open today, so I got an extra couple $100. But I don't know if that's how that's really going to be how I'm going to trade in the future. So we'll see. Anyway, on to other trades. BBY, not BBY, BlackBerry, BB, no, fuck BlackBerry, BBerry. That makes sense. Fucking hate when I do that. Anyway, so big picture, BlackBerry is uptrend. BlackBerry is a tech sector. They make phones and shit, or they used to. So they came off earnings, I think, on this gap, and since it have been making higher highs, higher lows, so basically breaking out to 52-week highs above 978, and just one of those examples of intraday uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So you could have been, maybe buying it here, even if you called this the one, 5 cents to make. If you're awesome and you got it here, or we're talking holding to the end of the day, so 5 cents to make 45 cents. It's a 9-to-1, and we talked, doesn't look like the best trade in the world, but that's hella risk reward. LL, so Lumber Liquidators is in the consumer cyclical sector. They provide solutions for people who want to do self-improvement of their houses at home. Obviously at home. So recent trend action in LL's couple sideways overlapping days. Big picture uptrend with all-time high level 2550. So above that 2550, which is kind of multi-day level now. We're just kind of looking for that. So we opened, naked gap opened up, but not by much. So this was one of those once again forgivable scenarios. So higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. I mean, you could call it right there, I guess. But at least here, you definitely have one clean swing, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So you jump in here, 10 cents, holding until the end of the day, 6-to-1. So pretty good trade. Expedia again. So Expedia is travel booking and consumer sick. Big picture trend is up. Recent price action is that we broke out to all-time highs yesterday, albeit on lower volume. But the intraday pattern is what I was talking about. So we talk about naked gaps up rather. This is what I like to see. So the V down. So we gap up around the open, test down, especially if we touch the prior day's high or the prior day's close. And then after 10 o'clock, we're holding sideways above the opening range high, above the prior day's high at all-time highs. So you could have thrown on trade anywhere there. Call it 40 cents. And you end up with 3-to-1 trade. So 1 GUT again. Last one, Baozun. Baozun is a Chinese stock. Big picture trend is up, and consumer cyclical. I think they do online retail or help people set up online shit in China. So recent price action is volumes come in above average, kind of pull back, but breaking out to all-time highs. So kind of had a little level here and respect the intraday. So higher highs, making higher highs into this level, higher high, higher low. So if you said you took that trade 40 cents and you got out somewhere around in here, what's that? 4-to-1. So This is why holding overnight is not something I like to do. I don't like to increase my risk. So it didn't video work out for me the other day. Yeah, is that going to be something I'm going to do, all the time? Probably not. Yeah, so sold right on the open when I was holding that yesterday. So anyway, numbers be what they are. I don't think there's like unrealistic trades that I think definitely could and would be making in my account when I go live. So out of my past 5 trading days, I've had 3 days where I've had one good trade, 2 days not so much, and it basically boils down to following the process, just going through all my checks, making sure I'm trading with the big picture and I understand what's going on, making sure I have a real intraday, entry technique that I'm trying to use. Yeah, and that's basically it, man. Make sure my size is good. I haven't sized too big, and I added at the right time when I had a chance to add and get big. So I'm very proud of how I've traded at least the past 2 days. But the reason this is happening is because I have been working hard and trying to get the ship right. So I do plan on going live after maybe May 29th might be the first day. So next week I get paid and I'm gonna ship the money back over. So yeah, man, I'm feeling like this might be the turning point, but it's only going to keep getting better. It's all about getting better just a little bit each day. Keeping those A grades for how I'm trading and make sure I'm doing all the right things. Later.